Hey, what's up, shitheads? Welcome back to the channel. Well, it's been, what, 3 weeks or so since the big announcement that E-Cell has officially gone out of business, filing for bankruptcy. And you know, I've had some time to digest all this now, and I figure it's time I give my take on things. And you know, maybe you want to hear that because, after all, I was an affiliate of E-Cell's, and I rode quite a few of their bikes over the years, and I want to let you know what maybe I think went wrong and what I hope happens in the future. And you know, so come along, guys, if you want to hear old story time with Shoot the Shit. Being as how there's a domestic dispute about to happen behind me, I'm going to go ahead and get on the road. Want to come along for the ride? Well, let's go. All right, guys, so here we are out on one of my favorite E-Cell's products, the E-Cell's Dual Step Star. I want to give you things from my perspective, what happened. Keep in mind, I'm not an expert. I don't know what was going on behind closed doors. Well, I'm going to tell you what I think went wrong and what I think is going to happen more in the future, and you know, what I'd like to see happen. But first, guys, I'm going to give you a little personal anecdote to how I even came into being affiliated with E-Cell's. It all started on a Tuesday back in I'm kidding. But August 2023, I purchased a wired cruiser. I did a review on that wired cruiser, and that ended up getting a lot of views, a lot of subscribers. And then I leaned into making e-bike content on my channel, and that's how I became an e-bike channel. So I always had like a soft spot in my heart for wired products because they did in fact help launch my channel indirectly. Now, according to JFly, I owe everything in my life to Wired. I made quite a few videos of them. I ended up contacting Steve from Wired. I got on their affiliates program, and then I was making Wired videos, and I was doing affiliate sales through Wired. Then I bought a Wired Freedom about December 2023, and I made videos on that. And then like February or March, I saw an advertisement for the E-Cell's 5-star. And at the time, the first impressions I think everyone had is, hey, this is a direct copy of the Wired Freedom. And at first, that's exactly what I thought too, because you looked at it on paper, first glance, like this is the same bike. I thought it came from the same factory. I thought everything was the same. But then the more I learned about it, a lot of stuff is different about it. They use a lot of the same components with the Hintock driveline. But then I got to thinking, you know what, hey, the vast majority of e-bikes out there all share componentry. How many e-bikes have Bafang motors? How many e-bikes are running 48 volt, 20 amp hour battery packs with LG cells? I mean, the vast majority of these e-bikes, or E-Cell's doesn't make Hintock motor. They don't make the KT controller. They don't make the RT guide fork that comes on these. They don't make the Shimano shifters. They don't make the displays. They don't make the handlebars or any of this stuff. Basically, the only thing that makes these unique to the company will be the frame and basically the company and its warranty structure, because everything else is all shared componentry. Sure, Wired has a exclusive agreement now with the new 72 volt Hintocks, but it's only a matter of time before you see those motors on other things. So that's just how the whole e-bike market as a whole goes. So, but at first I did have a sense of loyalty towards Wired, and I was like, you know, I don't like this company, E-Cell's, that came around, their copy, their design, blah, you know, whatever. I think a lot of people felt the same way. But then I got in touch with Dave Cleveland at E-Cell's, and he's like, yeah, we'll send you a bike. And, you know, I started doing affiliate sales for them. So keep in mind, guys, I purchased all my bikes from Wired at full price. And from my perspective, it just didn't make sense for me to continue to buy every bike they put out at full price and make videos on it. That's just not sustainable for me. And I'm not saying Wired owes me anything. They don't. I just don't have the financial means to continue to do that. And it just doesn't make sense for me to do that. And, you know, I've made some shots at Wired over the years, you know, like little jabs here or there. But I even made a video in the past saying that I want both of these companies to succeed. There's plenty of customers out there, and in the end, competition is good for the consumer. Look how fast these bikes have advanced in the last couple of years. Chances are, if it was just Wired, the 72 volt or the Predator wouldn't even be a thing if there wasn't competition. So I think competition ultimately is good for the consumer. And unfortunately for me, I wasn't in a position where I could do both. So I either kind of had to do E-Cell's or I had to do Wired. And it just made more sense for me to do E-Cell's bikes because I can't afford to just continuously buy all the Wired products. But I never had any bad blood. I personally recommended Wired bikes to multiple friends, and they bought them in person. And if you go back and watch those videos, I never said that the E-Cell's 5-star was a better bike than the Wired bike. But I'll tell you right now, that first E-Cell's 5-star objectively was a better bike than the Wired Freedom at the time. It was cheaper, $18.95 shipped, no tax. It had a better frame, more solid frame. It had a much more robust suspension triangle in the rear, and it had the dual wall rims that are significantly stronger than the ones that come on the wired. But I had multiple comments and stuff asking which bike's better, and I never answered that question. So I get a lot of people came off like maybe offended by that or something, but I tried to not make it too personal, but I did have some jabs here or there. I'm not innocent in this whole thing. But I just wanted to tell you, if that's from my perspective, why I went with Team E-Cells, because it just made more sense for me, guys. And the quality of the bikes speaks for themselves. They're very good quality bikes. So enough about me. Going forward, I started making videos on the E-Cells 5-star. And the 5-star is a great quality bike. They're very, it made sense, $18.95. Then they came out with the dual star. Then they came out with the dual step star. But I think, from my perspective, what went wrong started right at the very first 5-star. They went from a relatively small company making dual motor bikes that were pretty expensive. I'm talking $3,000 or $4,000, but they had very nice components on them, 10-speed drivetrains and stuff. These are really nice bikes. But they had a certified platinum hit with the E-Cells 5-star, and they went from being like a smaller company to just orders galore, constantly just selling tons of bikes, and I don't think they could keep up. And to make matters worse, Dave Cleveland offered full customization options on all the 5-stars. So that, I mean, you're talking custom paint colors if you wanted. You could do a belt drive. You could do a whole bunch of stuff, torque sensors, and that just threw a whole wrench in the whole operation, and it just backed up everything. And I think that was like kind of the beginning of the end, because that delayed a lot of orders. There was outstanding money, and it was just like they became this snowball. And I believe if they would have kept with the 5-star and the it's a 5-star and the step star, kept things a little more simple, no options, I think things would probably end up different. But I had a couple of friends buy E-Cells bikes, and I'm not going to lie to you, they weren't the smoothest transactions. Everything worked out. One friend bought one, it didn't have the stars on it, and he's like, yeah, they're never going to send them to me. Well, lo and behold, a month or so later, he got a package in the mail, and the stars showed up. So I think they were just overwhelmed and couldn't keep up with customer service. Rather than just being bad customer service, I think they couldn't keep up. And I started, after a while, you'd hear me recommend in the videos, call and order a bike that's in stock, because that way you don't have to wait for the delay. You just buy the one that's in stock. That goes for anywhere. Like, buy the one that's in stock, don't wait. They had the 5-star 2 come out, which was basically the same exact bike as the 5-star, but with a frame integrated battery, a nicer frame. And then they had the King Star, and I think it just got kind of like convoluted. Even me as an influencer, I was kind of confused, like what differentiated these different models. And then it just, I think the snowball effect, throw the tariffs in there, and he just couldn't keep up anymore. And unfortunately, it was just time to close down. And this sucks for a multitude of reasons. Number one, it sucks for me personally because I promoted E-Cells bikes. I thought the quality of these bikes would speak for themselves, and it would keep the company afloat, because anyone who has one of these bikes will tell you they're great bikes, really solid frames. They're just really good bikes. I haven't met anyone who's like, man, I really regret buying my E-Cells. I thought the quality was going to keep the company afloat. It also sucks because there are unfortunately some people now that are in limbo. E-Cells is officially filed for bankruptcy, meaning it could be months until people either get a refund, money back, partial refund, or they get a bike. I mean, at this point, nobody really knows, and it sucks for me because I did help promote the brand. And it sucks because now E-Cells, the company, is going to go away. What I'd like to see happen, I think best case scenario would be like the Juiced Bikes scenario, where a company is going to come in, buy the brand E-Cells, and just continue operations. From my perspective, granted, I don't know, I think that would be like a win-win, because I'm sure the factories are still over there equipped in China to make these bikes. A new company could come in, start the operation back up, and just keep making these bikes, maybe change the brand name or however that's going to work. I don't know, but the bikes are great quality and they could still make them from there. So I think that's the best case scenario. We see a big company come in, buy out E-Cells, and then pick up where they left off. Now I get people in the comments asking me, hey, I had one of these bikes on order. What do you recommend? Well, I am no longer affiliated with Wired, and I have no hesitation to recommend, if you were interested in one of these bikes, definitely go buy the Wired bikes. Wired makes a great quality bike. Unfortunately, I think what we're going to see more of in 2025, There's a lot of people were guessing that we're going to see more e-bike companies go out of business. And that's what I think is what's going to happen. It's going to be, you're going to see more of the big dominant brands stick around. You're going to have like Wired, Goat, Ghost Cat, Electric, Velotrek. You know, a lot of the big brands are going to be around to stay. And then a lot of the fly-by-night brands or the cheaper brands are going to just start going away. So I think we're going to see more of that. And sucks to see e-cells go away. As a matter of fact, a couple weeks ago, I was riding in town and I met a guy who had a Kingstar on order. And so it's like there are people, human beings out there that, you know, never got their bikes, missed out on a lot of time, and it sucks. E-cells makes great bikes, and now they're gone. And I think we're going to see this more, unfortunately. Now tariffs are on hold, but you know the future's uncertain. We don't know what's going to happen with tariffs going forward, but that's just the name of the game. And anyways, guys, just wanted to give you things from my perspective. Had a good run, but you know, as all good things must come to an end, right? Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and you know, we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.